All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Truth with Ben Jokes, your number one political talk show. Now, just to set the record straight, I participated in the End SARS protest under Buhari. Every single day of the protest, I was out until it was ruined by the Lekki toll gate incident. Last year, I took part in the End Bad Governance protest. I made a video from Eagle Square, and the video is still on this channel, I believe. We inhaled tear gas and stood up to police as much as we could, even though we didn't have the desired number. So when I urge Nigerians to protest, I am not just sitting in my room and urging others on. The grassroots strings I pulled in 2023 as an obedient in my own little capacity is still talk for another day. I decided to just put this out here for those who think that we are just talking on social media. Now, let us get into business proper. Senator Natasha slams 5.1 billion naira suit against Senator Nwebonyi for alleged defamation. That is it. The Nigerian Senate in the last 1.5 months has been exposed to the whole world as the gathering of clowns that it is. And few hours ago, the chaos in the APC was brought to fore once again by APC chieftains. But this time around, the substance of this chaos shocked Nigerians and other commentators from Africa, because it also showed the decay in the Senate and the imminent collapse of Nigeria. And concurrently, terrorists responded to the Tinubu administration in a catastrophic display of dominance after security chiefs claimed they had made progress in the area of security. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu went to Plateau State following the incessant killing, and instead of being honest with a grieving people, he began telling white and open lies, saying that insecurity had reduced greatly in Nigeria and that they had prosecuted 2,000 terrorists as a regime in 1 year. See the video.
The National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu commended the men of the Special Task Force for their prompt response, which helped in checkmating the attacks, hence reducing the impact.
Our security forces are doing well, but our communities will do even better. I think it's time for us to say enough is enough. We've been following, we have lost many people, but it's not exactly like the figures we see outside. It's not so. But even one soul matters a lot. We'll also appeal to the media to always verify and report appropriate, correct situations and what happens. We will continue to do whatever it takes to ensure that there will be peace, security, so that our people will live normal lives.
He also confirmed the arrest of several individuals connected to the attacks and promised that the matter will not be swept under the carpet.
There are many people who are arrested, it's true. But I can assure you that you will see justice. Justice will be done. Those who are found responsible, those who are directly connected, will be prosecuted and we will certainly bring justice to them. You will see the difference. We are doing it across the country. This government, in the last 1 year something, have prosecuted close to 2,000 terrorists.
Nuhu Ribadu said, despite some setbacks, the general security situation in the country is improving and will get better.
You heard that. Prosecuted 2,000 terrorists in 1 year. In which court, please? Nuhu Ribadu. When did you do that Nigerians did not see you? Is it the children you took to court during the End Bad Governance protest that are the terrorists you prosecuted? Zamfara State Governor said on TV that the terrorists were apprehended who confessed to kidnappings and killings of Nigerians, and they sent them to Abuja for prosecution. He said they were released after 48 hours. So who did you prosecute? All we have seen is rehabilitation of Boko Haram members into the army and into the society at large. How can anyone in this present day Nigeria assert that the security situation in Nigeria has improved? How can anyone with a conscience do that? Then he began doubting the figures of the casualties, urging the media not to report the actual situation of things. This is just a shame. And he was even laughing as he approached the podium. What is funny, after over 100 lives have been lost in Plateau State? What was he laughing about? It's just shameful. And that takes us to our top stories for this episode. Nuhu Ribadu said in that video that the security situation in Nigeria had improved, but terrorists hit back in a devastating fashion to prove him wrong. And next is that video that exposes the chaos within the APC and the Nigerian Senate in a manner that shocked Nigerians. Let's start by taking that update on the terror invasion after Ribadu claimed that security had improved in Nigeria. Look at how the papers reported it. Breaking: bandits kill 6 persons, abduct over 50 others in Katsina, Sahara reporters. At least 6 persons have been killed by gunmen suspected to be bandits in Dandume local government area of Katsina State. Residents told Sahara reporters that the bandits stormed the village on Monday morning. It was learnt that on arrival at the village on motorcycles, the gunmen started shooting indiscriminately, resulting in the death of the 6 victims. The gunmen also reportedly abducted about 56 villagers. Bandits just kidnapped 56 persons at Dandume in Katsina State and killed 6 persons this morning. We are on our way there now for reinforcement. A security source confirmed the incident to Sahara reporters. When Sahara reporters contacted the spokesperson for the State Police Command, ASP Abubakar Sadiq Aliyu, for confirmation and comment, he requested a text message stating, "Can't talk now, please text me." However, he had not responded to the message sent to him as of the time of filing this report. Katsina has witnessed sporadic attacks by bandits and kidnappers that have claimed the lives of many. You heard that. 6 killed, about 56 abducted, and look at the manner in which those 6 were killed. They said as soon as they came down from their motorcycles, they began shooting indiscriminately, meaning they didn't even mean to kill those 6 people. It was as a result of how recklessly they were shooting. It means life can be taken whether they mean to take it or not. That is how worthless life has become in northern Nigeria. And they proceeded to kidnap about 56 people. Do you know what it means to abduct 10 people, let alone 56? It takes almost a total breakdown of security to be able to do that, primarily because of the length of time it takes to abduct that number of people, and then the resources that you need to sustain such abduction. And if you look at the number of times they have done this in some of those places without security forces showing up even once to catch them in the act, you would agree with me that this is a conspiracy. They are always coming when the attack is done and dusted and all the terrorists have left. This is a conspiracy between the APC-led security personnel and the gunmen to keep oppressing the people. And the conclusion is simple. Northern Nigeria, to rid your region of insecurity, you must rise up and get rid of the APC. And next is that video that further exposes the chaos in the APC, the decay of the Nigerian Senate, and the imminent collapse of Nigeria. Please, I want you to patiently watch this video carefully and look at what this country has become. See the video.
Let me first of all say that I'm not against borrowing. Even the greatest countries in the world, America, Japan, China, all are big borrowers. But they borrow for physical, tangible, and accountable projects that you spread and pay over time. But my worry is not even in the borrowing, it's what you borrow for. Let me give you quickly a rundown of what I checked. You see, in June 2023, $500 million was borrowed for women program to scale up what they call NPWPSC. Can you see that? Can Nigerians see it? Where are the women? Then on June 23rd, the same day, $800 million was borrowed to cushion the impact of high petrol prices after fuel subsidy removal. How? Where? Then, on September 23rd, 2003, under the same government, $700 million was borrowed again for Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment. Then, on December 23rd, the same thing, $750 million borrowed through what they call renewable energy scale-up. Then, June 2024, $1.5 billion was borrowed to support Nigeria's reform for economic stabilization to enable transformation.
That one sounds very spurious, I have to be honest.
Okay, you see? Then in June 24th, $750 million again was borrowed for immediate financial and technical support for efforts to stabilize economy and to scale up support to the poor and most economically at risk. Then, on September...
Well, they would argue, that particular one, that they've been making payments to a lot of poor people.
Where are the poor people?
Some of their cash transfers and things like that.
Look, whenever you're doing something, if it is true, somebody will come out to say thank you.
But are these loans, are they approved by the National Assembly? I mean, do they pass through your Senate for approval?
No, what passes through the Senate so far as this is these are itemized.
Right, the bulk of it passes
No, the bulk,
through.
you don't pass the bulk, you pass the itemized. If, for example,
Right.
before...
So were all these itemized
No,
things approved?
not to my
so you're
knowledge.
saying they're extra?
Not to my knowledge,
Because
not
I know
extra.
that
Because such
I-
amount, the medium-term expenditure framework,
Right.
it's something that they bring and we look at and maybe approve it, but that is not to say it's a blanket.
So you're saying
approval.
these things have bypassed the National Assembly?
That is it. So far,
The reason I say that is that I know that in November 2024, the Senate approved 1.7 trillion naira or something to that effect that the government had requested, which is several...
No, it's not. Charles, get it
billion
clear. Before you
dollars.
pass the budget annually, there's the midterm expenditure framework
Right.
that must come before the National Assembly for approval. These are the things that the government is anticipating to spend, but that is not to say that even if it is approved, it is a blanket approval. No.
Right.
Every item, every of this
must be accounted.
Yes,
Right.
no, because you need to ask questions. How are you going to do that? How is it important? And when is the money? What are the terms? All these things are supposed to be discussed first before you engage in it. That is the National Assembly approval. But as I said, when you total these borrowings, the figure I got here is about $9.45 billion, which translates to about 13 trillion. And as I said, I mentioned most of them. These are items that are either intangible, those items has nothing to do with infrastructure. I would have supported, for example, that the country is borrowing even more than that to build our infrastructures, to build railway,
Right.
to build our
But you're
roads.
saying that these things that you're mentioning,
Yes.
they're not tangible things
They are not
that
tangible
you can
things
hold on
that you can hold on to,
Right.
and these are things that you pay in the next 40, 50 years.
Wow. Did you pay attention to the items that those billions of dollars were borrowed to cater to? One that stuck to my head was the one of June 2024, $1.5 billion taken to support Nigeria's reform for economic stabilization to enable transformation. What is the meaning of that nonsense? Even Charles, the interviewer, burst out laughing. They will just sit down, coin out a subheading that has no substance and begin applying for loans to fulfill it. And AKPABIO will make sure that the loans are approved without deliberation on the floor of the Senate because of senators like Ali Ndume here who would oppose it. And at the end of the day, the monies will end up in private pockets. And we are talking about loans that spread across 30 to 40 years for Nigerians to repay. Why would a sane human being even consider such loans? Every day they tell us that they have made huge savings from subsidy removal, yet they have been the ones that have borrowed the most, the regime that has borrowed the most within 2 years in office. This is an APC senator now making this revelation. This is not Peter Obi. Before they will say that he is angry because he was not declared the winner of the election. 13 trillion naira gone down the drain in borrowing. And don't forget that part of the payment for the loans is made using our crude oil in advance. They pay with Nigeria's crude oil in advance. Buhari did it. Tinubu is doing it too. Senate President Godswill AKPABIO ensures that all these acts of treason against Nigerian state goes through without any hindrance. I'm calling it treason because that is what it is. You are clearly destroying the state. Our grievance with AKPABIO is not even about Natasha's allegations. AKPABIO is one of the major persons Tinubu is using to destroy the future of this country. And look at how Nigerians reacted to this video. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. Olusegun Bakari here says, this should get Nigerians even more angry. Every senator needs to be questioned. Nigerians can't afford AKPABIO to continue this madness. 13 trillion naira is not chicken change. And these idiots in power want us to continue suffering. Every media house should be spreading this. This is what we are saying. And when we come out and talk about the protest, people want to point accusing fingers. Many of us are ready for this protest. And we are trying to encourage more Nigerians because number is what can get Nigeria to achieve anything. And even the leaders of the opposition to lend a voice in this protest that we keep talking about. And Iyanu here says, T-Pain and his criminal cabinet are on a borrowing spree. And the painful aspect of this is that even if T-Pain is removed from office, he will not stand trial for treason or corruption. Up to date, T-Pain hasn't been able to account for subsidy removal fund. That is it. And this tweet here says, APC is a demonic party. They have destroyed the country. I am telling you. Oluwafemi said they borrow and share. That's exactly what they do with our money. This is exactly why Nigerians are suffering. It is not because of any reforms. I've been saying it here. When they say there is hardship because Nigerians are going through, because the country is going through a reform, I said that is not true. The reason why the naira is falling daily against the dollar is because of these loans they are taking anyhow. Taking loans to steal. It is not enough that you are stealing the crude oil money. It is not enough that you pad the budget. Now you still have to go and take loans to steal. This is so painful. And we are saying this for Nigerians to be angry. Yes, there is no hiding this and there is no sugarcoating. We are saying it so that people can be angry. Maybe just then, maybe just when everybody gets angry enough, Nigerians will be able to rise against this tyranny because that is the only way out. We cannot get the true democracy that we want from voting at the polls alone. Nigerians must stand up to this tyranny and to this inhuman treatment, the emptying of our national commonwealth, of our treasury by the APC government. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Na I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.